Go ahead, guys.
If you could wrestle anyone in AEW, who would you wrestle?
I want to wrestle John Moxley. I think our careers have been, I was going to say similar, but I've never been to WWE, so it's not that similar at all, really. But in about 08, 09, we wrestled in Germany together for a company called WXW. And we wrestled in a couple of tag matches together, and we were meant to do a no-rope barbed wire match. But it was meant to be a tag match. It was meant to be me and Drake Younger, who's now a referee in WWE, against Sami Callihan and John Moxley, who were the Switchblade Conspiracy. But Sami got a staph infection, so he couldn't make it, so they took me out of the match, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm a bit gutted that never happened, because I've always wanted to do a no-rope barbed wire with Moxley. But yeah, at some point, I'm hoping I get to wrestle him in AEW. That or Jericho would be cool as well.
Sadly, Moxley's hurt.
Yeah, I know he's hurt at the moment, yeah, but he's not going to be hurt forever. So when he comes back, I'm going to hurt him again. So it works, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. How's it feel to, like, I kind of asked you this yesterday as well, but how's it feel?
Are you asking it again then?
Yeah, I'm going to ask it again.
Okay, cool.
But how's it feel to kind of just be, like, in the AEW product, but with all the talents, like, to add on to the question, I guess, like, someone like a Jericho, and, like, seeing how he's reinvented himself and everything like that, is there a certain aspect that you kind of take from that and want to go further with your character?
Well, yes and no. I think my biggest problem is that, like, where I've been known for, like, the extreme stuff in the Indies, I don't know where I can go. I don't know where I'm allowed to go with it. I don't know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. And the problem is no one's telling me what I'm not allowed to do. So I have a feeling that when we get on live TV, I'm going to do something that I've not been told I'm not allowed to do, but probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I'm probably going to get fired pretty quick from that. But no, I don't know. Like, it's exciting for me to be put under restrictions now, because before I was basically free to do what I wanted. And that's what got the buzz for me, and like especially like progress and stuff. Like I did like the Reservoir Dogs skit where I threatened to cut off Will Ospreay's ear, and that got a lot of buzz for like the indie wrestling. But now because we've got sponsors on TV, I don't know what I'm allowed to do. I might just do it anyway, and we'll see what happens. Really, like if I get fired, I'll have loads of buzz going back to the indie. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I might not be able to set anyone on fire. Like, I don't think I'm allowed to. I've asked about that. I can't do that. I can't set myself on fire either, which I've done before, and I'm not allowed to do that either. So I don't know what I'm allowed to do.
Should we invite kids to all your press conferences so you don't swear on camera?
I'm doing really well so far.
I'm really impressed, Jimmy. Honestly, I'm so happy.
I'm glad you're here, because I'm very.
Swears a lot. I'm okay.
I know, but I'd be in trouble for it.
Chris Jericho just covered his ears.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just going to try and not swear, because I need to get practice not swearing, because I'm going to be on TV soon, so that's going to be bad for me if I swear. My favourite word is a word that you probably haven't ever heard, and in England it just means like mate. But over here it begins with C, so all the adults know what it is, but we won't talk about it.
I know what it is.
Oh, what is it?
C-U-N-T.
Whoa! He knows. This is good. I like this kid. You're good. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say that. I've been told not even allowed to tweet that, which has upset me, because if you looked back at my tweets from a few years ago, half my tweets were that word.
So how has the change now working for AEW and having, as you mentioned earlier, potentially TV sponsors to answer to and different kind of an umbrella you fall under, how has that been for you? Has it been challenging? Have you found...
It's been great. I get paid regularly now. It's really good. With the indie stuff, I didn't know when I get paid, but now it's really good. I get paid really regularly.
Has there been...
The thing is, we've not started TV yet, so I've no idea. I've not been restricted that much so far. Like, it's something that I'm worried about, but until it gets to the point, I'm not going to know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. So it depends what sponsors we get, what we're allowed to get away with, what I'm allowed to get away with. I think the sort of content that I'm going to be able to put on YouTube and stuff is like my own like YouTube channel, like this sort of stuff to go along with the matches and feuds. I think that's going to be allowed to be a lot less restricted, but until it happens, I don't know. I want to be quite as creative as I can be in terms of like, especially I love horror movies and stuff, so I want to do like horror movie promos and like vignettes. So it depends like where I'm allowed to go with that.
What's your favorite horror movie of all time? Got to ask since you are bringing it up.
Probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, all right.
I'm a big fan of The Shining as well.
Okay.
I know Stephen King hated it, but I thought the end of the film was a lot better than the end.
So you got both ends. They're more psychological.
Yeah, I like both. Yeah. Like, I love like American Psycho is not a horror movie, but like I love that film as like a sort of psychological sort of take on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You look at this point, you talked about 08, 09, and you were in hardcore matches with John Moxley, and now you look at, now you know you're going to get a steady paycheck. Did you feel like you would ever get to this point, just considering what you went through 10, 11 years ago?
No, I never thought wrestling would be a job, to be fair. Like, when most of us started it, especially like guys in the British indie scene, like the indie scene in England was pretty crap, to be fair. We did it because we loved it. We did it because we loved to do wrestling. We could do like most of us are at school or college or university or having a job, and we could do the rest on the weekends. So the fact that for so many of us now it is a full-time job is pretty incredible. To be fair, like a lot of us can't. We knew we were good enough, but we never thought the scene would be big enough for us to actually have it as full-time jobs. And like a few of us, like me, Zack Sabre Jr., Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, Marty Skrull, like the sort of the scene resurged on the back of a load of us to turn it into full-time jobs for a lot of us. And then like, Zach's in Japan, Marty's with Ring of Honor, Pete's with WWE. And now I never thought I'd be signed to a major company because people think I'm a liability. Because I give that impression across on Twitter, especially when I'm drunk. I tweet too much when I'm drunk. That's the problem. But I'm not really that much of a liability, honestly. I'm okay. I'm a good guy. But like, so now that I'm in this position where it's a lot more money than I've ever made before. We were all making pretty good money before, but I was more worried like if I get injured, how am I going to make money, for rent next week or whatever. Like, so now there's less of that worry. And it's nice to have that steady income and that sort of guarantee of money, like for something that I've killed my body for the last 15 years. I had my medical this morning though, so my body isn't that. I was going to say an F word, but I didn't. Isn't that messed up apparently? So yes, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Talking about some of those restrictions, have you been talked to at all about what that might look like being different on TV versus pay-per-view?
No idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, but we don't know what the restrictions are yet. I mean, I assume I'm allowed to smash glass over my head, which is something I've very much enjoyed doing over the last few years. But that's understandable. But I like the sort of visceral reaction from fans with like the paper cut thing I do. Like that gets the biggest reaction out of anything I do because you know what that feels like. So I like to go. I'm going to try and go down that route of like stuff that people can relate to. But I don't know if I'm going to be allowed. That's the problem. I've no idea. Until it happens, we don't know.
There's been a lot of comparisons made to WCW back in the day and how they kind of spurred the Attitude Era and kind of the edgy product they brought to the table to compete with WWE. And now AEW is doing it where, I'd say it's you guys a little more of the early 2000s kind of punk skater vibe. And I think you really embody that. Is there any kind of consciousness around that backstage? Do you guys kind of know how you're branding yourselves, what your audience is, or do you just go out there and be yourselves and it just happens?
I can only speak for myself, to be honest. Like, I've been very conscious of my branding over the last few years of like the sort of whole goth thing, the hardcore thing, because that's what people expect from me, and that's how I've made my money over the last few years. Where that fits into the AEW brand, I don't particularly know at the moment. Until we get to TV and I see where I'm being pushed and where I'm being put, who knows? But I don't care whether I'm opening match, somewhere in the mid card, main event. I don't care because I'm just happy to be here, to be honest. Like, and I feel like wherever they put me, I want to do the best job I can for them in that role they put me in. Because I like the steady paycheck. It's really nice. It's really good. I like living in Orlando. That's really nice. I like Disney.
Does your deal let you continue to work for UK promotions, or are you exclusively just with AEW?
So I'm going back home in September. I'm going home for an IPW show. Just to go home for a couple of weeks, to be honest. But other than that, I'm just exclusive to AEW.
I also noticed the Joker shoes. What do you think of the Joaquin Phoenix trailers?
I'm really excited for the Joker film. I think it's a different take on it, and it's going to be good. I think if you are, it depends what sort of DC fan you are, but like it's a different take on it. It looks a bit gritty. It looks like it's going to be, I don't know, just a good film. Like, it looks like sort of like old American indie, like Tarantino sort of vibe of like that American indie kind of style film. So I'm excited for it.
Did you like Batman versus Superman? That's the real.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah,
I don't know
right?
why everyone's shit on it. Like Justice League, I thought was alright as well. Like, yeah.
There you go.
There's very little that I walk out of the cinema for. Did you ever see Dawn of the Dead? The shooting game.
Yeah.
So when I went to see it the night it opened in England. There was about 60 people in the cinema when it opened. 12 people left when it ended. That's how shit it was. But I thought, no, I'm sticking through this. I said shit.
I think
sorry.
that's House of the Dead, right? Dawn of the Dead was.
Oh, sorry, House of the Dead.
Right?
So
Yeah,
Dawn of the Dead was House of the Dead
Yeah.
was the shit one. Yeah. But anyway.